What is going on, folks? Today we have a pretty interesting video for you guys. I have never really done one of these because I've never been the most organized person when it comes to hunting. I don't really keep my stuff organized very well, and I'm always just running around kind of looking for things, especially with camera gear. Camera gear, if you guys know, if you video your hunts, camera gear always gets lost. This year I recently took it upon myself to start organizing myself more and try and keep track of where everything is, just so that I know to make it a more smooth hunting season and smoother when I go out hunting. As you guys saw by the title, today we're going to do a what's in my bag slash the ultimate hunting setup. Without further ado, let's get into it, but I do want to let you guys know, if you guys have any tips for me by the end of the video, let me know. I'm always down to integrate something new into my bow hunting and saddle hunting setup. So first off, we're going to start with my bow here. This is the Mathews Base 4. I've had this bow, I got this bow last year, I'm pretty sure. And a lot of people might be asking, Logan, why did you get it last year when the lift came out? Well, to be totally honest, I wasn't looking to spend $1,500 to $2,000 on a full setup. This bow right here, I think I got for like $800, which is actually pretty good for last year. And then I just slowly built it over time. I got a used sight off the discount rack for it. I loved it. It did end up breaking this year, so I did have to get a new one. But overall, I absolutely love this thing. We've got the long Mathews quiver on it with the same camo. And then as far as arrows go, gold tip, airstrike, I've been using them for 3 years now, I think, and I absolutely love them. And then I just put some aftermarket fletchings on to make them look a little bit better. So this bow is actually in the First Light camo. If it was my choice, I would picked a solid color, but this is really like the only one the store had left, and I was in dire need. It was like 2 days before season and I still hadn't shot a bow and I didn't have one. So I ended up starting to like it a little bit more. I actually do like this camo a lot, but I wear Sitka, so it doesn't match, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It's still a Phase 4 and it still shoots like a Phase 4. So this year I bought this 8-inch stabilizer for the front. Before I was just running a bee stinger, which was really cheap and it was just in the budget for the time, and I hated it. But this year we got the 8-inch flatline stabilizer. I thought about doing dual stabilizers, but I decided to just go with the 8-inch for now and see how I like it, and if I want to I can upgrade it in the future. So that's what we did there. And then this little thing right here is actually a little strap that I got for Christmas a few years ago, and it actually is coming in really handy. It's by Jack Gear. It's super easy to put on. It's super nice, especially with saddle hunting when you have stuff in your hands. You can just strap it around your shoulder like this and go for a walk. As far as my sight goes, this is a B3 archery exact. I'm not exactly sure what the name is of this sight right here, but like I said, my old one did break, but then I ended up getting it fixed, so I have my old one now too, but I do like this one better. My old one is a little bit smaller than this one, and it's just not as smooth overall, and this one's got the little button right here to press to pretty much just make these things glow a little bit more. But as for the bow, that is about it. I do use G5 Megameat broadheads. I've used those for about 4 years now, and I don't think I will ever use any other broadhead unless G5 comes out with a better one than the Megameat. I know a lot of people use the dead meats as well. Those are great. I've used that too, but personally I prefer the 100 grain Megameat. And last but not least about the bow, I pull 65 pounds on this bow. In my personal opinion, you don't need to pull any more than 65 pounds, especially if you're only whitetail hunting. Now, if you're elk hunting, going on a moose hunt, bear hunt, yeah, you could pull a little bit more, but as far as whitetail go, why make it harder on yourself? 65 is plenty to kill a deer and get it passed through on a deer. Enough about the bow, let's move on to the saddle setup. Alright folks, as you can see in front of me, I have my saddle setup. It is nothing too crazy. I don't have anything different than I would say most people do. So first off, right here is the actual saddle, and this is the tethered workhorse. So I actually bought this saddle setup this year, and this tethered workhorse saddle was probably the one that was the most in my budget. And the thing I liked about it was a built-in pockets on the side so that you didn't have to get extra carrying bags to put on your saddle. I love this saddle, but I think my butt is just a little bit too big for it, and I might move on to a 2-panel saddle come up next year, but for this year, this will work. It still works great, and it's very comfortable. So, as far as the actual saddle goes, I only have 3 things in here. Now, I do have extra room for storage, and sometimes I'll stuff something extra in there if I don't have time, or if I don't want to take my backpack off I have in my hand, I'll just put it in my saddle. But I only have 3 things in here. 1, my POV mount. Now this is just a trail camera mount that you could literally get from any outdoor store, but the camera that I'm filming on right now is a camera that goes on this mount right here. You screw it into the tree, you screw the camera onto here, there's your POV mount. I absolutely love this thing, it is so handy. Would say somebody needs to make a more durable one of these, because when I'm tying it on or when I have my camera on there, I get it's not rated for a lot of weight, but my camera can move very easily. Like if I'm touching it, it can fall if it wants to. This thing, this tightening thing right here, doesn't really work anymore. I absolutely love this thing for what it does, and if you have a POV camera setup where you have a camera on you and then a camera on the deer, this should be what this is in one of my side pockets. The reason I have that is because as soon as I get up there, before I even take my backpack off, I'll put that in, I'll hang my backpack on there, and then I can go ahead and just put my camera on there. I can put both my camera and my backpack on the same bow hanger, which is super nice, which I do take extras with me, but usually you don't need more than one. And I don't want stuff all around the tree because then it's gonna affect my view or if I have a shot somewhere. The second thing that I have in my saddle is my tether, my actual tether. This tether actually comes with a whole workhorse saddle kit, but this right here does not. This is the Ropeman one. If you are saddle hunting, get one. Yeah, they're $70 for this little metal piece. It is so worth it. If you guys know, Prusik knots are an absolute bitch to move up and down the rope, especially with one hand. This is a one-hand operation, so if you're looking to get into a saddle, make sure you get a Ropeman one for at least your tether. I don't have one for my lineman's rope yet, but I need to get one because that's getting super difficult to move the Prusik knot up and down while you're going up the tree. Your hand, you usually have something in your hand. It's just super difficult. In my left pocket, I have my tether, and in my right pocket, I have my lineman's rope. Lineman's belt, lineman's rope, you can call it whatever you want to call it. The one thing I have not done with this lineman's rope yet is wrap these carabiners. Sometimes they clang together and it's kind of loud, so I need to wrap those. But overall, the tether and the lineman's rope, super high quality, and I don't think I'll ever need to buy a new one. So the last thing about the saddle is this little hook right here. I have it tied on to a little rope. I've got this hook, and what this hook actually does is when I'm going up the tree, there's a string right here on my last stick, and this will hook right in to here. It's going to be a little loud because I don't have it on. It'll hang right into there, and then those 2 last sticks will hang off my saddle while I'm climbing up the tree. I would definitely recommend using a rope and a plastic hook and not a carabiner. My experience with carabiners has been really bad. It just makes everything so much louder. But that is gonna be it for the saddle. That's gonna be everything in to out. Super simple, super easy, super light. Next, we're going to get into my sticks. Now, these are the tethered Skeletor sticks. In my personal opinion, these are the best bang for your buck that you can get. If I'm being totally honest, I would pick these over the one sticks just because, yeah, the one sticks are light, but these have the length. These are not too heavy. These are not unbearable. I would much rather carry a little bit more weight in my hand into the tree than have something lighter that's not going to get me as high in the tree. And they're about $200 cheaper than the one stick. So the tethered Skeletor, best bang for your buck stick. I have tested out multiple sticks, so I'm going to stick with these as my favorite. Super simple, super easy. I haven't wrapped anything on them yet because I just recently got them. I've used them a few times, but I haven't wrapped anything yet because I don't know the contact points and I need to figure those out. So as soon as I figure out the contact points, I'm gonna wrap some stuff on them to keep them a little bit more quiet. As far as the sticks, I don't think I'll ever change sticks until these are ruined and I need new ones. So last but not least, in my saddle setup, we have the Cruiser platform. This thing, I also think this is the best all-around platform you can get right now for the price. This was the most highly recommended platform that I get simply because of this slope right here. This slope helps out a ton because usually they're just cut off right there and then your feet are kind of just hanging off the side. You can put your feet right here on this slope and it's a lot more comfortable. Now I do have some things wrapped on here, just some contact points to try and keep it a little bit more quiet. But the biggest problem I have with this is when this part right here to tighten the strap hits the metal on the platform, it is insanely loud. Can't really get it to do it right now because I have it tightened down so it's not rattling when I'm, well, there it is. But overall, I don't think I'll ever get another platform unless Tether just came out with a few new platforms, one that's carbon fiber, and if I want to spoil myself, I might go ahead and buy one, but for now we're going to stick with this Cruiser platform. I really enjoy it and I would highly recommend it for anybody that's starting to get into saddle hunting. So that's going to be it for my saddle setup. I'll have a different video sometime about how I actually use my saddle setup, how I go up a tree, and etc. But as far as for this video, that's all I'm going to show you guys for the saddle setup. Maybe one other thing that I can think of. But next we're going to actually get into my actual hunting bag. So right here is my backpack. This thing has been through a lot. I've had it for about 3 or 4 years now, maybe even longer than that. But this is the Sitka Fanatic pack in the elevated camo. So as far as my backpack goes, I keep it very light. I try not to take too much stuff with me because I've already got my sticks I'm carrying, I've got my bow I'm carrying, I've got my platform. So that's actually the other thing that I wanted to show you guys with my saddle setup is my platform and how I carry this in, because I carry my sticks in one hand, my bow in the other. So I have this carabiner right here and I have this rope tied to my platform, and all I do is stick my platform onto my backpack like that, and then I'll usually just put one strap over it to keep it in place so it's not just swinging around. But that's how I carry my platform in, and it's actually super quiet. I have my carabiner wrapped so in case it hits the platform, it doesn't make a loud metal noise. That's the last thing I want to show you guys with the saddle. But this backpack almost has nothing in it simply because I'm carrying my sticks in already, I'm carrying my bow in already, I've got my backpack on my back, my saddle's on me, and camera gear. For you guys that video hunts, you know camera gear can get super heavy depending on what lenses you have, what camera you have, the camera arm you're carrying in. As of right now, I'm not using a camera arm, so it's been a little bit lighter than usual, and I've actually been looking into getting a new pack that has a little bit more space, because when I put a camera arm in here, it kind of just sticks out, and then when it sticks out, it'll hit the platform, it'll make noise. It's just an absolute mess. So I'm actually looking to find the right pack for saddle hunting and camera gear, how to get all that stuff in at one time with still being quiet. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know. But this is what we're stuck with right now, the Sitka Fanatic pack. But it's designed to be quiet. It's like a fluffier material. That's what's nice about this pack, is it's not loud, it doesn't have zippers. As far as this backpack goes, like I said, very minimal. We're gonna start in the top pocket, which is actually where I keep most of my stuff, because I put my backpack on, I can unzip that. I lied, there's one zipper on here. I just now noticed that. This is the only zipper on here and it is super quiet. This top pouch right here is where I keep most of my stuff, and it's just mostly miscellaneous stuff. I don't really have a routine for my backpack. So the top, I have my grunt call, which is the extinguisher. I love this thing. I've had it for a few years. It's about all I use. And then I have my release up here. So the first thing I do is I hang my backpack up, pull my bow up, and I get my release on. I have got a flashlight in this top pocket. And then this right here, most of you guys won't have, but this is actually a lens filter for my camera. So I have that up here as well. It's in a leather case, so it won't make noise if it's banging against anything in here. And then last but not least, an extra bow hanger. You always gotta have extra bow hangers no matter what, because you don't know if one could fall out or not on the walk in. So I always keep extra bow hangers with me just in case. That is pretty much what's in my top pocket. There's a little pouch back here, and this is where I keep my bow hanger. I have been looking at getting one of the straps that you just strap around the tree to keep your bow close to the tree, because when I put this on the tree, it's sticking all the way out, and I have to make sure I put it at a right angle to where if I grab my bow, I can still have my bow on the left side. If I grab it and try and shoot on the left side of the tree, I have to have it high enough or low enough to where my bow isn't going to hit it when I pull back. In this top left side pouch, there are 2 pouches on this left side, and in the top one right here, I have my DJI Mic Mini mic case. So this is where I keep my mics. So I'll use the mic that I have on the camera right now, which is just kind of like a boom arm mic, and then as soon as I get in the tree, we'll stick these little mini mics on because I'm talking quietly. I want the mic close to my mouth. So this is what we got. Bottom pouch down here, we've got 2 extra carabiners. I always make sure to keep a little bit extra of things that you might need at some point. So down here we got 2 extra carabiners, just in case we need them, in case something's giving us problems. Those usually tend to stay quiet too, even though like they'll make that noise, but on the walk-in it usually doesn't do that. So that is pretty much going to be it for my backpack, and we are going to move on to the last and final thing, which is my Bino harness. Now this is actually a lot bigger than what you guys think, and I put it to the test, so I'm going to let you guys know my results. So I actually forgot to show you guys one thing. So before we get to the Bino harness, I'm going to show you this. This is a retractable bow rope, so when I'm going up, I'll also put this on my saddle, and then it'll just kind of pull as I go up the tree. And then when I'm up there, I can just pull it up, and then after I'm done, I can just reel it in, which super, super, super nice. Absolutely love this thing. So I'll just stick that on the side and go, and then after I'm done, I'll put it in my backpack just so that it's not rattling around on the side. The thing that I have invested most of my thinking into with my whole setup, surprisingly, is my Bino harness. Now, this is one Bino harness, but I also have this Bino harness. This Bino harness right here is the one that comes with pretty much every Vortex binocular you buy at a store. You'll get one of these for free. And I've used this for the longest time. But as soon as I got into saddle hunting, the problem happened is that I would have this on my chest, and this one's a little bit poofier, so it sticks out further. And so my rope would hit it and it'd move it, and if I wanted to go up or down or anything, it would always just be all around my body, just in a weird way, because it comes so far out from my chest. So I decided to upgrade, and I got myself a Sitka Bino harness that is a 3-panel. So that one I couldn't even put my rangefinder in. This one I can. So in this front panel we have my Vortex optics, binoculars. These are 10 by 42s. I don't think you need anything more than that for deer hunting. These have worked great for me. I absolutely love them. Got those in the front. So on the left side here, we've got a little smoke in a bottle, dead downwind, wind detector. Shake that, spray it. That's what we got in that pocket. And in this right pocket here, we have the rangefinder. So we can fit literally everything in there. With that other Bino harness, I couldn't have my rangefinder in there. And my saddle hunters out there know that you can't really put stuff in your pockets when you're saddle hunting. So my rangefinder, I always had to find a way to put it in a right spot to where I could grab it if a deer came in quickly. But right there, we have all 3 in one, and it's not as far out from your chest. It's a little bit more flat. So I've realized that I do like this a lot more. That one also kind of gets in your way when you're pulling your bow back, etc. I think every Bino harness does. Sometimes, for the most part, if I'm up there and I'm doing a longer sit, I actually will take my Bino harness off and I'll just hang it on one of my bow hangers, or I'll strap it around the tree to where it's right in front of me, and then if I need to, I can just open it up and grab the stuff out of there. That is the last part. I would highly recommend investing in a good Bino harness, because those ones that come with Vortex, I don't recommend them. Their binoculars are great, but their Bino harness, they got to work on a little bit, and I'm pretty sure they have aftermarket ones out there too. They're giving you this for free, so it's not going to be the best thing ever. So that's going to be it for the ultimate bow hunting saddle setup and the what's in my bag. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am an aspiring outdoor content creator, and I'm trying to get my YouTube going a little bit more. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment down below as well if you guys have any recommendations for my setup. But this is what's working for me for now. I'm sure I'll have some changes by even the end of the year. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.